Hello and welcome to English with Justino, videos designed for you to learn English vocabulary, expressions, culture, and maybe even some grammar along the way. This video is for those already speaking English at an intermediate or advanced level. The idea here is to listen, read, and learn from a native English speaker in a natural way, the way you first learned your native language, by hearing it. Okay, forward we go. Enjoy! Alice's Wonderland Adventures, Chapter 5, Lesson 2. Alice is eating mushroom pieces at the advice of a caterpillar that was sitting on top of a mushroom, smoking a hookah pipe. So which is which? She said to herself, and nibbled a little bit of the mushroom in her right hand to see what would happen. Then she felt a violent blow as her body was shrinking rapidly. What is Alice eating from her hand? Alice is eating mushroom pieces that she broke off from either side of the mushroom the caterpillar was sitting on. Why was Alice eating mushrooms? Because Alice wanted to grow back to her normal size, and the caterpillar said this would make her change. Did the mushroom in Alice's right hand make her shrink? Yes, the mushroom in Alice's right hand made her shrink fast. That means the mushroom in her left hand must make her grow larger. She was very frightened by this sudden change, but she felt that there was no time to be lost, as she was shrinking so fast. She then decided to eat the mushroom from her other hand. She was so small now there was hardly room to open her mouth. She managed it at last and swallowed a morsel from her left hand. Was Alice happy she was shrinking fast? No, Alice was not happy. Alice was scared she was shrinking so fast. What did Alice decide to do then? Alice decided to eat the mushroom from her other hand, from her left hand. Did Alice spit the mushroom out on the ground? No, Alice did not spit the mushroom out. Alice swallowed a morsel of the piece of the mushroom. "I'm free at last," said Alice with delight. This changed into alarm in another second, when she found her neck stretching rapidly out of her body like a giraffe. "Oh no, where are my shoulders? And oh no, where are my hands? How can I not see you?" She was moving them as she spoke, but nothing happened. What was happening to Alice? Alice was not shrinking or getting larger, but her neck was stretching out really long. Her neck was so long there was no chance of getting her hands up to her head. So she tried to get her head down to her hands and was delighted to find out that her neck would bend about easily in any direction, like a serpent. She had just succeeded in turning it down into a zigzag and was going to dive in among the leaves, which she found to be nothing but the tops of the trees under which she had been wandering, when a sharp hiss made her draw back in a hurry. A large pigeon had flown into her face and was beating her face violently with its wings. Did the mushrooms make Alice's neck stretch out like a giraffe's neck? Yes. Alice's neck was so long her head was up in the treetops. Who did Alice encounter in the treetop? Did Alice see a butterfly? No, Alice did not see a butterfly. Alice found a pigeon. Or the pigeon found Alice, and it flew into her face and was beating her face violently, or really hard, with its wings. "Serpent!" screamed the pigeon. "I'm not a serpent," said Alice angrily. "Leave me alone. Please stop." What did the pigeon think Alice was? Did the pigeon think Alice was a snake? Yes, the pigeon thought Alice was a serpent, which is the same thing as a snake, because her neck was so long and shaped now like a serpent. The pigeon screamed that Alice was a serpent. "You are a serpent," repeated the pigeon, but a little quieter, and added, with kind of a sob, "I have tried every way, and nothing seems to work." "I haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about," said Alice. "I've tried to nest on the roots of trees. I've tried to nest on the river banks. I've tried to nest in the hedges," the pigeon went on. "But those serpents, there's no avoiding them, even at the top of this tree." Did the pigeon call Alice a pretty lady? No, the pigeon did not call Alice a pretty lady. The pigeon called Alice a serpent. Why was the pigeon so upset with Alice being a serpent? Because the pigeon had a nest and serpents eat eggs, and the pigeon had tried to keep her nest in many different places, trying to avoid serpents. Alice was more and more puzzled, but she thought there was no use in saying anything more until the pigeon had finished. "As if it wasn't trouble enough hatching my eggs," said the pigeon. "I have to be on the lookout for serpents night and day. Why, I haven't had a wink of sleep in 3 weeks." Was Alice confused or puzzled about this situation? Yes, Alice was confused. Did Alice start talking to the pigeon right away? No, Alice did not start talking to the pigeon right away. Alice did not say anything until the pigeon had finished. Was the pigeon concerned about her eggs? Yes, the pigeon was concerned about her eggs and was on the lookout for serpents who might eat her eggs. "I'm very sorry to trouble you," said Alice, who was beginning to understand. "So, I have made a nest in the highest tree in the woods," continued the pigeon, raising its voice to a shriek, "and just when I was thinking I should be free of them at last, one comes slithering up. Ugh! Serpent!" Was Alice starting to understand why the pigeon was upset? Yes, Alice was starting to understand. Did the pigeon shriek again with exasperation that Alice was a serpent? Yes, the pigeon shrieked again that Alice came slithering up. "But I'm not a serpent, I tell you," said Alice. I'm a... "Well, what are you?" said the pigeon. "I can see you're trying to invent something." I'm a girl," said Alice, with doubt, as she remembered the number of changes she had gone through throughout that day. Did Alice try to tell the pigeon that she is a girl and not a serpent? Yes, but Alice was not so sure herself, because of all the changes she had gone through this day. "A likely story indeed," said the pigeon in a tone with the deepest contempt. "I've seen many girls in my life, but never one with a long neck as that. No, you're a serpent, and there's no denying it. I suppose you'll be telling me next that you've never tasted an egg." Did the pigeon believe Alice is a girl? No, the pigeon did not believe Alice, because she had such a long neck that was sticking out up into the treetops. Did the pigeon suspect Alice had never tasted an egg? Yes, the pigeon thought Alice would say she had never tasted an egg. "I have tasted many eggs, certainly," said Alice, who was very truthful. "I eat eggs all the time for breakfast." "I don't believe you," said the pigeon. Alice was silent for a minute or two, which gave the pigeon the opportunity of adding, "You're looking for eggs, I know that, and why should it matter to me whether you're a girl or a serpent?" "Well, it matters to me," said Alice loudly, "and I'm not looking for eggs, and if I was, I wouldn't want your pigeon eggs anyway. I only eat chicken eggs." Was Alice upset that the pigeon thought she was a serpent? Yes, Alice was upset that the pigeon thought she was a serpent. Did the pigeon think Alice was looking for eggs? Yes, the serpent accused Alice of looking for eggs. Was Alice looking for eggs? No, Alice was not looking for eggs. "Well, go then," said the pigeon in a sulky tone, as it settled down again into its nest. Alice crouched down among the trees as well as she could, for her neck kept getting tangled up in the branches, and every now and then she had to stop and untwist it. After a while, she remembered that she still held the mushroom pieces in her hands. She set to work very carefully, nibbling first at one and then the other, and growing sometimes taller and sometimes shorter, until she had succeeded in making herself her usual height. It had been so long since she had been her right size, and it felt strange at first. She got used to it in a few minutes, and began talking to herself again. "Very good. Half my plan is complete now. How strange all these changes are. I'm not sure what I'm going to be from one minute to the next. However, now I'm back to my right size, and the next thing to do is get into that beautiful garden. How am I going to do that now, I wonder?" And as she said this, she came suddenly upon an open place with a little house in it about 4 feet high. "Whoever lives there," thought Alice, "I should not try to surprise them. My right size is rather large now, so I might scare them out of their wits." So what did Alice do? She began eating the mushrooms again. First, out of her right hand again until she started shrinking. She did not go near the house until she shrank back down again to 9 inches high. The story summary. Alice was eating mushroom pieces, and her neck grew out so long it was like a giraffe. Her head stuck up into the trees so high, she disturbed a pigeon protecting her nest and eggs. The pigeon accused Alice of being a serpent, and they both argued about this for a while. Alice ate some more mushrooms until she finally arrived at her correct size. Alice then noticed a small house and didn't want to scare anyone with her large size, so she ate more mushrooms and shrank back down small again.